A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John, chapter 13, verses 16 to 20. Passage taken from the Message version of the Bible. You address me as teacher and master, and rightly so. That is what I am. So if I, the master and teacher, washed your feet, you must now wash each other's feet. I've laid down a pattern for you. What I've done, you do. I'm only pointing out the obvious. A servant is not ranked above his master. An employee doesn't give orders to the employer. If you understand what I'm telling you, act like it, and live a blessed life. I'm not including all of you in this. I know precisely whom I've selected, so as not to interfere with the fulfillment of the scripture. The one who ate bread at my table turned on his heel against me. I'm telling you all this ahead of time, so that when it happens, you will believe that I am who I say I am. Make sure you get this right. Receiving someone I sent is the same as receiving me, just as receiving me is the same as receiving the one who sent me. The Gospel of the Lord.
Reflections on the Gospel according to John chapter 13 verses 16 to 20. The whole life of Jesus was an example of fulfilling his Father's will to the point of dying on the cross. If we imitate Jesus in service of the people in need, even at the cost of our personal comforts and likings, we will find true happiness, which no one can remove from us. I have given you an example, Jesus says to his disciples after washing their feet on the night of the Last Supper. Blessed Jose Escriva would comment on this passage saying, "Let us reject from our hearts any pride, any ambition, any desire to dominate, and peace and joy will reign around us and within us as a consequence of our personal sacrifice." Lifting one's heel against someone means hitting him brutally. Metaphorically, therefore, it means violent enmity. The betrayal of Judas fulfills the words of the Psalmist in Psalm 41, where the Psalmist complains bitterly of a friend's betrayal. Once again, John the evangelist wants to tell his readers that the Old Testament prefigures the events that would be fulfilled in the life of Jesus. Through the Last Supper discourse of Jesus, John is trying to answer the question of betrayal faced in the early Christian community. How do you treat those who cause you grief or harm, especially those who are close to you in some way? Jesus addresses the issue of infidelity and disloyalty in relationships. He knew beforehand that one of his own disciples would betray him. Such knowledge could have easily led Jesus to distance himself from such a person and to protect himself from the impending danger. Instead, Jesus expresses his love, affection, and loyalty to those who were his own, even to the one he knew would stab him in the back when he got the opportunity. To share bread with someone was a gesture of friendship and trust. Jesus extended such friendship to Judas right at the moment when Judas is considering to betray his master. The expression, "lift his heel against me," reinforces the brutal nature of this act of betrayal. Jesus, on the other hand, loved his disciple to the end and proved his faithfulness to them even to the death on the cross. Through his death and resurrection, Jesus opened a new way of relationship and friendship with God. The great honor and the great responsibility a Christian has is to bear witness to Christ and to proclaim him. As his disciples and ambassadors, we are called to speak for him and to act on his behalf. Are we willing to stand for Jesus at the cross of humiliation, rejection, and suffering?